Yesterday, we went long on this stock that's going to explode because of what Powell said in today's Jackson Hole meeting event. And before I share with you that stock and why we enter, when we enter, how we enter, and what are the price targets so you can make money off of it as well too, I want to share with you the stats for today and then also the wins. So today, or this was yesterday's reporting from my main fund account. The year-to-date performance as of right now is 73.75%. Even though I had a drawdown a couple of days ago, we're still up pretty good for the year-to-date performance. So I'm really, really happy about that. And if we go over to the community over here that you can join, and I'll leave a link in the description there for you to join. Here are the wins. Okay. So Agent, we traded Tesla today. Okay, that's what we did. We did Tesla 0 DTE because it's Friday, and we're like, let's go, right? 330 calls, 260% return, which is an awesome trade. They did a lot better than me. Sewell got a 700% return on the Tesla call, which he crushed. Rodney also scored on this, turning it from 141, I believe, 141 all the way to $4. And then also Aaron made 250% in just matter of minutes, which is an awesome return. She turned $300 into $1,400. That's amazing. Okay, those were the wins. That's the stats. Let's talk about that stock. Okay, and if you haven't been able to tell yet, I kind of have it up here, and that stock is called Upstart. Okay, Upstart is the stock that we are very long. We've been very long since the whole interest rate thing was even like the cut of it was a thing. Why? Because Upstart's going to benefit from this interest rate cut. Okay, no matter how long it takes, they're going to go higher and higher. Here's why: they are a borrowing company. They lend money to consumers like you and I, and probably other businesses as well too, for all I know. And that's the thing, right? As interest rate gets cut and they get reduced, right? This is going to benefit them because it'll be cheaper to borrow money, and so this will be a pro for them, for Upstart. And so you can see here they recently released their earnings just about on August 5th, right? It was just like less than 15 days ago. And they tanked. Okay. But that's okay. That doesn't mean anything. Okay. Just know this. You see how in this chart, this is on the NASDAQ website, which you can this is free. You can look it up for any public ticker. Quarter 3 was a negative EPS. Quarter 4 was estimated as a negative EPS. Quarter 1 of 2025, this year, was a negative EPS. Quarter 2, which was just the last one, was estimated at a negative EPS of 0.09, right? Negative number. But they actually announced positive EPS. When you have positive EPS and you have growing EPS, whether it's from negative to a smaller number, that means growth and profitability for that security, for the Upstart, which is a really good thing. From getting out of negative and now into the upcoming quarters, which will be positive EPS, this is really beneficial for Upstart, right? They are going to be more profitable as this number continues to grow, which is what we want on any security when you're putting your money in for long, right? So in this case, now they have 0.09 for the next quarter, which will be in November, their earnings. And then the next quarter will be an estimate of 0.24, which is almost triple the growth quarter over quarter. And then Quarter 1 will be 0.34 from the 0.24, which makes it almost a 50%, probably like 40-50% growth from this Quarter 4 to Quarter 1 of 2026. And our goal inside the private circle is to capture all of this. We want to capture all of these 3 quarters. Okay. But the way we do this is that this requires price targets that use the option premiums. Now, I'm not doing this by hand. I actually developed my tool Gextron to figure this out for me because it's much faster. A program is much faster than a computer is much faster than I would ever do it by hand. Okay. So now that you know why we like it long, and then also the benefits of the interest rate cuts, here is what this looks like. And when we got in this I believe we got in this yesterday. This was August 21st. Today's August 22nd. Is that we got getting into shares at 63.55, and I labeled it as B1. These are buckets that we go into because we have different lengths and stuff. But anyways, the point is we got in at 63.55. Okay. And when I saw this, there was a couple things I saw. Okay. And the where it was placed, right? So the price level was above P trans, which was 62.5. I updated that ever since because now it's 63. When we got in, it was above P trans. Now, if you don't know what P trans is a level here on Gextron. This is Gextron, where it's the first positive bar, and the next three to the right are positive bars. So that's four positive bars consecutively, like back to back, right? So what this tells me as a trader is that this is the start of a bullish sentiment based on the option premiums alone for this given security. And we want to enter that because if it's just starting the bullish run, we want to capture that next move, right? And so if we're in negative area, we don't want to jump into something that's long when the sentiment is put dominate, right? It tells me right here, call dominated now because we're way above it. So price was above it, and we got in around 63.55, right? Which was yesterday. Now, the other thing that I like about it is the targets, okay? Because I just remarked the targets as of right now, which I go to price targets, and then I go to like the quarterly move, which would be December November doesn't exist here, but if it did, I'll use that expiration instead. And then the end of the year target has increased to 93. It'll tell you here on Gextron, like here's the range. We have about 24-point move to the downside and to the upside, but here are the top and the bottoms. It just calculates it. It's so easy. I just copy these numbers, it copies it to the clipboard, and then I just paste it into my charting software tool, which is TradingView. Now, here are the levels. I have this dotted line. This represents for me end of the year target, which I could just write a line here. End of the year target. Okay. And then I have the QEM, which is my price target for the quarter. These are the current levels, 91.66 and 93.67 from where price is currently at. That means that when we got in, and then the price targets that are calculated based on implied volatility and the option premiums that Gextron is doing, it's telling me we have a risk reward ratio of 1532, which is really, really important. If we go back to a previous post, and I said this in the previous video as well too, we had a red day. I had a red day. Let me see if I can find that. Red day. I'm going to tell you why this is really important right here. Here we go. Okay. We had a series of losses. This, whatever, right? But I said the real edge in the strategy that we use is risk versus reward ratio. It has to be strong because this is going to wipe out the losers and then make me more profit from even wiping out the losers, right? And then some. So, and this is a strong number. The minimum risk reward ratio that I tell everybody that they should aim for is 3. Minimum risk reward ratio. If you have less than 3, that forces you to have a higher win rate, which adds more stress to you because it makes it feel like you have to win every single trade. And that's just not how it works. If you flip a coin and it's heads and tails, you have a 50% chance, but you don't know how that series is going to come out. Are you going to have one winner, then 4 losers, and then your other winners? You just have no idea, right? So like the point is, if you have a higher risk reward ratio, then you can offset, you can lose less, you can win less and still come out profitable. So today's wins wiped out all the losses in the last couple of days, and we made even more profit. That's the whole point of this risk reward ratio, and this is where Upstart comes into the next play because it's going to jumpstart my 73. I think I had a high of 77. This can potentially get me back to where break even was, where I was currently at 77, and then take me to the next level, which could be 80% year-to-date performance because of the risk reward ratio. Okay, it's a 1532. We just have a couple levels here that I need to keep an eye out. We hit 70, we got rejected. The next levels are going to be 75, 80, and 90 based on Gextron's levels, okay? So it's telling me right here. It's tall bars. 70, 75, 80, and then we have, that's it, like 90. I wouldn't even consider these that much of a area of interest as of right now. And that's the thing with Gacktron as well too. It's always updating. It's never static. As option orders are coming in, which you can see here on this, they're always coming in. It's recalculating everything. Okay, it's dynamic, and that's what you want on a tool. Something that is forward-looking and that's always updating as the market goes by. If you're using technical analysis, you're using static data and late data. Nobody cares what happened last week's news. We care about what's going to be on the right side of the chart, not the left side, right? So, nonetheless, this is the reason why we like it. EPS growth over P-trans, risk reward is great. The end of the year target is 93, which is about let's take a look at this real quick, 46.55% upside potential. And if this loses against us, which again, we're like, we don't care, it's only like a 3% loss. It says it right there in the box at the bottom under a red background label. 3% loss, 46% upside move. I like those odds, and that's what we're going to stick with. All right. If you have any questions on this trade or how we trade or whatever, leave a comment down below. I'll get back to you in the next video. And if you want to join me and my team, feel free to check out the links in the description box, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.